why don't I show you how to set up Webull on a desktop? Because you can see a lot more, you can do a lot more. So I want to show you how to set it up like a pro. Let's start all the way over, man. We got a fresh layout. So how to do that is you simply click this plus sign right here. It's going to say new layout, and then you actually got to click on blank layout to open up a fresh layout. I always like to start with going to my settings, right? Go to your settings, take a look at what you got. If you're on a really small screen, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is change your font size from large to, maybe like medium. So we're gonna click on custom. And the first thing I like to add, I always start with this. So in general, it's called watch list. I'm a former website designer. So for me, I'm all about like UI, UX, which is basically like how you interact with like a website in the smoothest way possible. And you always start with the menu. And the watch list, that's basically my menu. The very next thing that I wanna add to the screen is a chart. Always start with the watch list and a chart because, those are your two main components when you're trading, right? Webull operates using, these things are called widgets, right? And you can basically connect them together. So I can make this watch list become a menu for this chart. If I go up here to where it says set as group, let's say I set this to group 1, then I set this to group 1. When I click around, you'll see that this watch list over here controls this chart. You got a chart right here. I like to, boom, get my chart nice and big. I'm actually gonna move this down a little bit, move this watch list down because I want a little space right here at the top. I'm gonna go to quote, that's underneath quote, go to quote. I'm gonna take this box and I'm gonna move this box right over here in the corner, make it smaller, of course. I want it to fit, boom. Let me drag the watch list down just a little bit. Bam, of course, I'm gonna link it. So I gotta put that in group 1. I'm gonna have the most important things right in the middle. So one of the most important things to me is when you're trading and you're trading real money, a lot of people tend to get carried away. They get carried away because they don't actually keep in mind that they're messing with real money, right? This will help you keep that in mind, right? So you're gonna put your account details smack dab in the middle of the screen. I'm actually gonna make my chart a little skinnier because I already know I need some room on the right-hand side. You'll see. I trade using something called a price ladder. So I click on the price ladder. That's underneath trade right here. I told you I need to make my chart a little skinny. It was then my chart a little too husky. Feel me? My chart a little too husky. All right, boom. There goes my price ladder, right? All right, so let's add a widget because we're options traders. So we have to add the options widget. That's gonna be under quote. So boom, we got our options widget. And another important thing that you can do is you can grab a widget on top of another widget and drag it and drop it on there. And now you have tabs. That's extremely important for widgets that you're not constantly using, but you want to get to it, but it's not something that you have to stare at the entire time. Like the chart, I want to see that the whole time. The watch list, got to see that the whole time. The quotes, money, got to see that the whole time. Price ladder, not so much. I only got to see that when I'm in a trade. You know what I mean? So I'm going to use some tabs here. I'm going to get creative, right? So we're going to go to trade. We're going to go to positions. And this is going to show us what the hell we done bought, but we can keep track of it. That way we don't get too carried away and we always see what we're doing. Boom. We're going to make some room here. We're going to add another quote box. We're going to drag that over and make that nice and make sure that it fits. Boom. We're going to go ahead and add our news and comments right here, right? In this little area. There we go. Comments. So we're going to drag that in here. News and comments. Now, comments and news, we forgot to link that. We got to link that to 1. All right. We have our options chain. I like to simplify my options chain. I don't like to leave it all out in the open with like calls and puts all mixed together like this. Either or, man. I want calls or I want to be on puts. I don't want to look at both. Just don't. And I also want to see more than just 6 contracts. I want to see like 20 or 30. Okay, yeah, that's more my speed, baby. Let's do 20, man. That's a bit much. Okay, there we go. If I'm ever live trading or whatever, and I say, look, man, I want y'all to go ahead and get SPY 506 puts for today, 0-day contracts. Well, obviously we're on the 1 day right here, March 18th. And we'll go ahead and click on the 506, boom, and make sure that we're on puts. And all of a sudden we have that queued up. When we're ready to jump in, we just click on the price ladder right here. And then we just wait. Because we can just click on this left-hand side right here. It says buy LMT. because this little gray area, this shows you the current price that it's at. That will always show you the current price, that gray box. If you click to the left-hand side of it, right on it, it'll put in a buy order for buy LMT. That means limit price. That means you're basically saying to Webull, I want to buy, but no higher than this limit, right? So if you click right here, it'll put a limit price of 35. Now let's say in that split second, SPY goes up to 36, right? It won't fill your order. Why? Because you told them you didn't want to spend over 35. You was being frugal. But, you know, here's how I like to trade. Here's what I like to do. I like to come into trades using what's called a buy stop. A buy stop is when you basically say, let's say SPY is sitting right here and the price is 35. I'm going to put a buy stop at like 38 for a put, because obviously with a put, we're betting that the stock is coming down, right? And I want to make sure that when I get into this position, when I buy in at 38, that it's because this stock started already coming down a little bit. That's why it went from 35 to 38. It got more, the put contract gained value and got more expensive because this already started coming my way. It already started coming in red and coming down. If I were to just jump in at 35 right here, who knows if this is done running? This might still keep pumping up and going to the moon. Now, I want to see a little weakness. I want them to come to me. You want to make sure you uncheck this, because if you don't uncheck that, you are going to be clicking to buy something and it's going to ask you, are you really sure 100% that you want to buy this? Or if you don't know how to set a stop loss on a price ladder, which is the most important thing you can learn, is how to set a stop loss. It's on the right-hand side. So if you can buy on the left-hand side, the right-hand side is selling. If you sell on the little gray box right here, it'll instantly try to sell, because that means sell at this limit. That means no less than this. If you go back down here, you see it turns to sell stop, sell STP. That basically means if you click right there, you're saying to Webull, hey, if you start losing value and come back to 107, go ahead and sell me, because I don't want to take the risk. You should be good to go as far as having a set up desktop version of Webull. Now your Webull is set up and ready to go. So pull up this week and let's get to work.